What's going on, everyone? So, Tabitha and Henry, the last we saw them at the end of episode 3 was Henry in a stretcher and essentially a neck brace, as well as Tabitha all banged up from a car accident that was started from Tabitha having a episode, right? Like she ended up finding Miranda, or what Henry relayed to as Miranda's bracelet, which was similar, or in Tabitha's mind, the exact same bracelet as the one that she made, that she also found in the basement that she made for Jim. And it caused her to kind of spiral and go, oh no, I am still in Fromville, and thought that this was all fake and just another manipulation from Fromville. Now, at that moment, it was kind of like, oh, hold on, here we go. And then lo and behold, you find out that no, she actually was in the real world. They end up getting in a car accident. Ambulance comes and picks them up, and then they end up running into the tree that is in the middle of the road, signaling that they are back in Fromville. And Henry now is officially in Fromville with his son, Victor. However, I have some real concerns, like some very real concerns about Henry, and it appears that he may potentially either be dying or will die in this next episode. And I am going to be very disappointed if that's the case. I don't have an issue with Henry dying. If you want Henry to die at some point, that is fine. However, Henry and Victor need to have a moment, right? You need to have that dialogue. I feel like it would be such a missed opportunity if we don't get that. But you have a couple clues that signal Henry potentially dying. One, Henry appears to be knocked out, incapacitated. Now, he could just be kind of laying there, his eyes closed. As I said, he kind of has like a neck support, and they're in this ambulance, which we see in even the trailer, ends up showing up in Fromville. A lot of keen eyes from even a month ago, if not longer. Even left comments in my videos talking about how, hey, Henry and Tabitha are going to end up in Fromville together. And, going into this season, and we saw the trailer for the old man at the time, it was a running theory and something I talked about and came to a conclusion, as well as many of you, that like Henry was going to be Victor's father. It lined up, made sense. They had similarities, right? The biggest clue, in my opinion, was the pictures on the wall. And one of them looked like Eloise. And it was like, that is either a major coincidence or that's Victor's father. Lo and behold, turns out to be Victor's father. We got some key details, some key information to kind of answer some questions. Obviously, there's a million more questions that are still needing to be solved. However, it was like, okay, great. Tabitha meets Victor's father. They're going to kind of try to solve this mystery together, kind of round up Scooby and the gang and let's get this done. And they are on their way to a very significant tree, right? The original bottle tree. And did a video diving into the likelihood that Miranda actually created the bottle tree in Fromville, because you see the one in the backyard as well as one that they were on their way to, which started it all, right? Henry relays like, hey, this is where me and Miranda ended up taking the psychedelics that ended up leading to the visions, and basically was where it all started. And now it looks like we're probably not going to get to that point, at least anytime soon. Hopefully, eventually, kind of end up finding more about that tree. But I already did a video on that, so check out that video after this video, because I want to stick to Victor and him likely dying. And the biggest clue that he is dying or will die in this upcoming episode is Marielle is performing CPR on somebody in the it looks like colony house. Now, we know that the ambulance shows up, appears to be nighttime. Boyd and Randy and several others go out to assist and try to help. It looks like they're getting ambushed. You have this moment where, again, Marielle is giving CPR. Now, Christy we know, is with everybody. One with a hurt leg. Maybe that's why. Maybe this isn't even part of the next episode. It's always a possibility that this is just, but it was a part of the teaser for the next episode, right? Could there be some misdirection here? Could there be some more to this than that? Could it be another character? It's very possible. However, like, which characters would require CPR? Which characters would require her to be performing this, right? If somebody got attacked and shredded by a monster, you're not really giving them CPR. You're probably done, right? And you just kind of look at who is on that ambulance that would require these things, that would require CPR. And Henry's the only one. Unless something else happens, unless somebody else gets knocked out, or, some instance unfolds that maybe give us more clarification on this moment, then we have to go under the assumption that it's Henry. Now, look, this doesn't necessarily mean that Henry dies, right? Maybe she is successful. Maybe she is able to keep him alive. However, again, I will be incredibly frustrated and disappointed. There hasn't really been a moment that really I felt was a major disappointment. I've been, and I even talked about it in a previous video, I was a little disappointed with the phone call, right? I felt like it was kind of lackluster for what was looked at as like kind of a buildup. Now, obviously, as I said in that video where I did talk about it, there could be more to it than that, right? Obviously, we just got the initial contact where Jim believes, or doesn't believe, but gets the phone call from Thomas and kind of and says, I don't believe this, don't buy it. I just felt like it was very underwhelming. Again, don't want to kind of get off track here. If you want more information on my opinion about that, go check out that video. But that's the only thing thus far throughout this entire series that I really look at and go, man, that was like kind of lackluster or disappointing. This would be the biggest thing. This would genuinely bother me. Not in the sense of like, that's it, shows nothing. I don't want to seem like getting carried away here, right? Within reason. But it would just be a big letdown, in my opinion. It'd be you drop the ball moment. Because, again, Victor, he's lived in this place his entire life. Right? Like, he has no clue. Last time he saw his father, he was a little kid. He might not even recognize that it's his father. Who knows? Right? I mean, he didn't even remember he had a sister. So that could obviously be the justification to kill Henry, right? And maybe not even let Victor know, right? Maybe it's just like this big secret that everyone kind of keeps from Victor, and everyone kind of just like looks at Victor different and can't really, because they don't want to relay the truth. But it's just like, man, you have a chance at such a big, significant, powerful moment. Imagine the emotion of Henry seeing his son. Imagine Victor coming to the realization, like, I'm not alone anymore. I have my father. Like, this is my father, right? Like, how would that interaction go? How would that feel? Right? How would Henry handle that? How would Victor handle that more than anything? Would Victor not want anything to do with him? Would Victor kind of just be like, no, I need to get away. Like, get this guy away from me. Like, yes, he's my father, but like, I haven't seen him since I was a kid. Like, would it be sensory overload? And a lot of, like, there's so many things that you could really kind of have, not only an emotional scene, an impactful scene, but just like you've had this build up to this moment where these two are eventually gonna, intersect. And it's just like, if you don't have that, man, that would be disappointing to me. And look, maybe I'm alone in this. Maybe, that's why I always say, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. I always pass the question on to you because I feel a certain way doesn't mean that everyone will. But I look at man, it's just like, if they really kill Henry without that interaction, I would be so disappointed in that. Again, I don't care if they kill Henry. It's almost expected, right? Like that they're going to kill Henry at some point. I'm all for them killing Henry, right? Like, if you want to have the emotional scene, have the emotional moment, and then, Henry succumbs to his injuries at some point, right? Maybe a couple days later, whatever, and him and, Victor are kind of hashing it out, and it's like they're trying to work it out or whatever, and it just, and he ends up dying before Victor can work it out. Now we're dealing with the aftermath of that. That's fine. I'm all for that. Right? I'm not against Henry dying. I want to make that clear. I'm not against him dying. We need the Victor and Henry moment. We need that father and son moment. Do they embrace? Do they, is Henry not know how to respond? Does Victor not know how to respond? Right? Like, there's so much potential with a scene like that. There's so much emotion. And again, just build up that I don't want to see them drop the ball on. But we'll see. Time will tell. We're right around the corner from it, and we'll definitely talk about it once it happens. But I do have my concerns. And I'm just like, man, I saw that little teaser, and I was just like, oh, please don't let it be Henry. Again, it may not be Henry. Even if it is Henry, very possible that Henry survives. I don't know for certain if he dies, but it's just, there's the breadcrumbs that are starting to lead somewhere. And it's just like, do they lead to Henry dying before we actually get that encounter? But anyway, as always, again, pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel with your thoughts? Do you agree with my points? Do you think, like, yes, you cannot drop the ball on this. You cannot not have that interaction, that encounter, that dialogue between these two? Or do you think, like, no, like, it makes sense, kill Henry, no one tells Victor, it's kind of like the town secret now. No, because like I said, he might not even recognize his father. Again, he completely forgot his sister ever even existed. So, but again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know either way down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.